What if the real competitive advantage in Bootstrapped SaaS isn't smarter tech, but a sharper mindset and the stubborn refusal to quit when everyone else does? In this episode of Build with Shreya, I sat down with Anthony Demidovich, founder of WAB, and a builder who turned a simple WhatsApp style chatbot into a $3 million plus SaaS without venture capital. If there's one thread that runs through his journey, it's this: you don't need to be the smartest technologist to win. You need to understand your customer and keep showing up after the first wave of founders has already walked away. One of the most interesting things was when Anthony flips the usual startup advice.
So first thing I would recommend is that you need to find red ocean. Most people typically try to find blue ocean and start startup that doesn't exist, or like there are no competitors for this kind of startup. So, and it's a pretty huge mistake, especially for companies that are trying to bootstrap their business. It may work for like venture capital startup, if you have venture capital money, but it's probably not gonna work in case when you are trying to bootstrap your business, because the best approach, like from my own experience, that if you are bootstrapping a business, you need to find red ocean market with a lot of competitors and just reshape this approach. So you just not do an improvement offer. You are do like an entire reshaping of the market and reposition yourself, your product, that way that you still have all of these customers, right? But you reposition your product and you don't have competition. You already have proven market, you already have customers, and you just need to provide them something new, some new approach. And when you do this, in most cases, if you do it properly, of course, your customers will like it, and it will easy for you to achieve all of these clients because the market already exists, and you will be wondering how fast your startup is growing, because it's really, you need to just try it.
This was one of the most grounded realism checks. If you want revenue, start where people already pay. Anthony calls out the same pattern. Founders buy tools, plug in bots, and expect automation to fix their business. The real issue, he says, isn't the technology. It's the lack of clarity around ICP, objections, and messaging.
Many people believe that it's enough to just buy our tool and it's gonna fix all their problems. So typically it not works like that. So you just need to understand you need to understand your clients first. If you understand your clients, we can provide you enormous results. We can boost your businesses really like exponentially. But if you don't understand who your ICPs are, if you don't understand how to work with your clients, what their objections, and so on, you probably cannot utilize our tool in the best way, because you simply don't understand your business. And who can build a successful business if you don't understand the business, right?
This is one of the most important takeaways. Automation amplifies your existing understanding of customers. It doesn't create it. Anthony traces how WAB evolved from a generic chatbot platform into something much sharper, a data-driven marketing automation engine that ties ads, Meta, Google, YouTube, to live conversations.
ManyChat, AI-Sense, Iwati, and the rest of competitors just providing you a solution to interact with your customers fast and respond to them and so on. But I've uncovered a new opportunity, actually. Hopefully competitors will not see this podcast. So the idea is that if we have, again, as I said earlier, if we have the entire access to the entire data from the start of, like, from the interaction with the chat, with the banner, with the advertising banner, and finishing with the conversation with the chatbot, we can track the entire path. And what we are currently trying to build, we are kind of pivoting to another domain. It's not only WhatsApp automation, but it's the entire marketing automation for SMBs, because we understand the pain that most people cannot do right copywriting, right? And in most cases, it would be really good if our chatbot would understand their entire business, their customers, how they interact with the advertising, help them to write A/B tests and analyze what kind of copywriting works best for them, and with what kind of funnel they receive more, let's say, conversions. Because for some people it's like, I don't know, like appointments. For some people it's payments and so on. Let's call it conversions. So the most like it's the biggest pivot in our business, I would say, because again, previously we wanted just to build a conversation automation tool, and currently we are working on the entire marketing automation.
This pivot is one of the clearest examples of how a product can compound value when you rethink it as a system, not a feature. Anthony draws a sharp line between LLM wrapped gimmicks and real AI architecture.
Typically, most companies trying to inject this AI thing into chatbots, right? But in the most cases, they're just doing it like wrong. It's like, I call it LLM wrappers, right? So you just provide a chat GPT wrapped in some prompt, and that's pretty much about it. And that's not gonna provide any meaningful outcome for you, because it's just an LLM wrapper again. And in order to create something meaningful, what we are doing architecture of small LLMs on the back end and connect it to external world if we need, and apply the logic of LLM to our use case, to our application, because our LLMs can tag our customers if they manage to figure out some kind of intent. They can add this tag to the customer, and simply you can segment your customers in the future by this intent, right? If they understand that this customer have some intents, have some other intents, we can simply provide an output for our chatbot and so on. So we're trying to inject this LLM into our business logic and build a powerful AI application, let's call it like that.
This distinction is one of the most useful reality checks for anyone building or selling AI first tools. When I asked Anthony if AI will make salespeople obsolete, Anthony pushed back.
Once we uncovered how powerful it might be in our use case, we started to utilize it, because we didn't want to create like yet another AI application which doesn't provide any kind of, again, meaningful impact for our clients. So we just we were waiting a little bit. So once we understood that AI can be meaningful for us as well, we started to implement it. But in this world, when you see that something is changing, it's like it's okay. For like most industries, for startups especially, your competitors gonna add any changes to their startup every day, every week, and iterations, they are really fast. So you probably shouldn't care about it, because the first thing you should care about it only in case if you're working with VCs, because they require like fast growing, right? So every week you need to grow and show them this access every month. So, but if you are doing a business for yourself and if you are bootstrapping, you shouldn't care about how fast AI moving. Actually, you should care a little bit, and you should be aware of it at least. But overall, it's enough for you just, again, know how to sell, know your clients, build these, connections with your clients. AI will not like replace these personal connections and the interaction between people. I simply don't believe into this, because it's never gonna happen, I think. So the only thing you need to focus on, so it's to understand how to sell, is to understand your customer's pain, and is to understand how you can cover everything. Yeah. So AI can be an additional tool in your arsenal, but not the leader,
This is one of the most emotionally grounded parts of the conversation, where empathy, persuasion, and trust are treated as the true core of the business. Anthony repeats a simple idea in different ways throughout the conversation. The only thing you really need to succeed is a wish to achieve success, then execute properly.
The only thing you really need to succeed is not a unique technology. It's not like something really that changing the world. The only thing you need is the wish, and you need to execute properly your product.
This line captures the entire ethos. If you pair a clear desire to win with consistent customer-focused execution, The tools, AI, and architecture will follow. If this changed how you think about AI, automation, or founder resilience, share this episode with one builder, founder, or product leader in India who's still showing up and shipping. And tell me in the comments which line from Anthony stuck with you the most.